to Dental Marketing Philippines podcast, where we interview exceptional dentists around the country and in the world. In each episode, we will extract what's on the dentist's minds and let them share their wisdom towards dental practice. Our host, Roche Ruiz, is the founder of Dental Marketing Philippines. He will fill our minds with dental information and marketing strategies. So let's get it on and let's all attain a certain level of success.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dental Podcast Philippines. And of course, this is brought to you by Dental Marketing Philippines. And again, this is your host, Roche Ruiz. And today, I'm very excited. Today is, I think, a lucky day for all of us and for those who also follows Filipino dentistry, to all those who are following KJR Dental Center, Dental Recipe, Dental Podcast Philippines, and all the products that we distribute. This is also a perfect opportunity for all of us because tonight I'm going to introduce you my very special guest. He is no other than, I'm going to show him to you right away before I read all of the, I have here a very brief biography of our special guest. Our special guest for tonight is no other than Dr. Jordi Manauta. He's there, over there. Yes, you are seeing.
Good night, my friends.
All right. Okay, Dr. Jordi Manauta was born in Mexico. He graduated cum laude in dentistry from UNITEC. And, he's been an apprentice for Dr. Miguel in Mexico and Dr. Walter Devoto, of course, one of the founder of Style Italiano. And as a matter of fact, another postgraduate studies in operative and aesthetic dentistry. He's a master in UIZ. He's also a visiting professor. So Professor Jordi in Siena and Marseille University. And this is one of the best that you could possibly, motivate people or dentists. He was able to invent and collaborate several materials that we use today. In some other various material instruments for aesthetic dentistry and photography in collaboration with other international companies. He is also the author, probably you have this book, I think you have to get this book. He's the author of Layers and Layers 2. And one of my favorite distinction of our special guest today is he is actually one of the most sought after international lecturer, not just in the Philippines, of course, globally. Again, with pleasure, welcome to the Philippines. Although this is just virtual, you're going to be seen live in the whole territory of the Philippines. No other than Dr. Jordi Manauta. Good day, sir.
Thank you, Roche. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks to all the audience in the Philippines Dental Podcast. I'm very honored to be here and to share with you. If you can take home one takeaway message, I will be so honored and proud. Thanks for having me.
Wow. First question, Dr. Jordi, where are you now? And just I want to let the Filipino dentists know where you are now and where do you live and where do you practice? 3 questions right away.
Yes, as you can see now, it's daylight time. We are in Italy, near the city of Portofino, in the city of Genova. So we are, let's say, in the upper part of the boot, facing to Spain. We're in a very calm place. I live, work, and practice here. It's been 12 years, and Italy, it's a good place to do everything, to live and to practice.
Wow. So you are now in Italy. My second question is, a lot of Filipinos have seen you lecture already, but I want to just ask you a little bit about, who is Jordi Manauta? How did he was able to be a dentist now practicing in one of the most, very good place in Italy now?
Yeah, so I was born in Mexico City. I am the son of a doctor. and my mother, who is a pedagogist, but she always dedicated to herself. Very two incredible that, and all the family that my siblings. They're really they are all younger than me. Since I was little, I was of course going to our dental checkups, and I had the blessing of having a full healthy mouth. So every time for me going to the dentist was just seeing an authority putting the hands in the mouth of my siblings doing mysterious things, and I just saw there the tray full of instruments, burrs, materials, the mercury of the amalgams, several things, and that caught my attention. Since then, I really was in love, of course, with the medical part, because my father is a gastroenterologist, but as well with the creative and the instruments and all this building and modeling part from dentistry. So since very little, I either wanted to be an astronaut or a dentist. So when the moment came, I was a dentist. So for me, it's just as heavy and as meaningful as being an astronaut. So no jokes here. I always been very passionate about this.
Wow. So you got a very early exposure with the medical field, no? So I know that you become a dentist, but you have like a background of the medical one, and because of your exposure with the medical and dental, you've decided, I want to be a dentist. What age, or if you can still recall, then you wanted to become a dentist? Yeah.
So I wanted to become a dentist since I was 8 or 9 years old. It was very clear for me. The thing is, when I was kind of 18, it was the time to decide. I was not very sure if I had only one fixation, and that had to be to follow my dream and follow our dream. It's one mandatory thing to do. So I did what I had to do. I went into psychotherapy for orientation to see if mine was only a fixation or it was really a vocation. It turned out to be 101% vocation. So the day they told me, I felt it. I was in love with my all-time love of my life, but you have to be sure before you commit more.
I'm sure.
It was a very passionate thing. Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of dentists are very thankful that you've decided to become a dentist, because a lot of people are inspired with your works, and a lot of dentists are using your innovations also. But we will go to your actual dentistry practice a little later. Now, during your younger years, before you decided to become a dentist at 18 years old, what are your hobbies? Can you tell us the interest of Mr. Jordi Manauta as an individual, not as the popular?
Yeah, that individual was quite lazy, and so I got things like music, playing guitar, and chilling out. Really no other passion, but what I could do at home for me was okay. I was not searching around. We played in a band for about 4 years. It was very amusing, but I was not very disciplined, even though very passionate, not very disciplined. So my songwriting skills were good, but not constantly reinforced or updated. My technical skills on guitar were good, but not constantly updated, and so on. That was my failure in music. And it might have a reason, but I'm okay like that. I still remember how to play some guitar, some basic chords, sing a little bit, and my friends still say they have a talent, but I know deep inside I don't have the constancy for that.
But do you still play guitar now? Do you still play music, or you just
not in constant basis, just as a joke? Because I repeat, I don't have nor the time or interest to sit down and really put myself into that.
Yeah, and maybe now you don't have that much luxury of time because you always travel.
No, exactly. When I have time now, I try to do some fitness, for example, which is, I think, more valuable to my current age and situation.
You've never been to the Philippines, right?
No.
Yeah, you have to visit the Philippines, and we will welcome you here. Okay, let's go back to your practice of dentistry. So when you get into the practice of dentistry, right away you went into to Italy. Is it? Am I correct?
No, so that's very curious. So before entering dentistry, as I told you, I had this confusion of having wanted things so much during my whole life. I did a pre-course of medicine, so I spent 6 months in School of Medicine. I realized I loved as well medicine, so I was pretty confused when I finished that. Then I went into dental school in Mexico City, already with the clear ideas. At the same time, I went to Dr. Miguel Tamés private practice. So every morning I was in dental school, every free afternoon I was with him, like his shadow, following him all around to see what we was doing. Okay. And he was a very, very busy man. In those very rare occasions when he was free or doing something of no interest to a young student, he sent me to the dental lab to do my first wax-ups, my first exercises, and it was so nice. So when those were my first steps in dentistry, really, to feel and have the sensation of a private practice, to touch a dental laboratory, dental anatomy, wax, materials, and that's where my life changed, and that's what really made me choose between dentistry and medicine. So the dental school then started in Mexico City. I must say this UNITEC, it's at the time, and I think still now, it's one of the best dental schools in Latin America. And there, after 15 days of being a dental student, we touch our first patient. And I think this is a phenomenon which happens mostly in not, let's say, not first world countries. Okay. And so, who were this patient? She was my sister, and she came for some prophylaxis with some rubber tips and fluoride application. But since day one, we were touching patients. And someone might think, okay, but you guys that you practice in so young age are much more talented. And the thing is, no, then I went to study my master's degree years later to Spain. And I saw many people who didn't have this chance to practice so much, who were much more brilliant because they have such an intense education with the theory, with phantom models and so on. So everything, it is crucial for dental education. Don't think that if you don't touch immediately patients, you are worse. Don't think that if you don't study this or that, you are worse. Everything adds, everything counts.
Yeah, nice. So that really start up your practice and really opening up a lot of opportunities. So how many years did you practice in Mexico before you decided to really I want to go to Europe, and I want to do a private practice in Italy?
Yeah, so it was quite shaky, let's call it this way. So I started as an apprentice in a private practice, not yet in the dental school, in the year 95. I spent 1 year watching this guy, Dr. Miguel Tamés, every afternoon when I was in the last year of high school. Okay. Then I did 6 months of medicine, and then I entered dental school. So it was from the year 96 to the year 2000, dental school. Then I finished my thesis, and then we did 1 year in a public hospital. So that was, let's say, my last year of dental school. and my first year of really doing patients, okay? Because there were every morning 8 or 9 patients, which for a young man of 21 years old, it's quite a big deal. Then I stayed in Mexico for 1 year, and for me it was quite immediate. I had to go to do my master's degree. Okay, so the thing was, while I was doing my year of social service in the public hospital, I was applying to 2 American universities. I was supposed, and I wanted to do the most innovative thing at the time, which was implant dentistry. So at the end, after doing applications, having some positive feedbacks from some of these universities, and in one paying the anticipation of the tuition, I saw that the program was completely not satisfying for me. So I decided again to follow my passion. And my passion was to search anywhere else in the world something that I said, oh, I love this. And I found that in Barcelona, which was Masters in Aesthetic Dentistry. So I saw the program, and it was ceramics, composites, staining, veneers, crowns, aesthetic procedures, and it caught my attention really so much. So I took all my stuff and went to Barcelona. So it was the year 2002 when I was already with all my bags in Barcelona. That until the year 2004. The program was pretty nice. I learned so many things I didn't learn in Mexico, because in Mexico we were more into the American philosophy, American school, that more indirect, more ceramics, more crowns maybe. While in Europe we have more conservative composites, the small class 4, the shape, the characterizations. Wow, for me it was pretty amazing. So I have these 2 things in my life. Okay, everything was going moderately well until the day. I mean, 2 or 3 months before we ended the program in Barcelona, we had a special invited lecturer to give us a full day of lecture. And my God, I saw this guy presenting those cases with his Italian jacket like this, showing amazing work. And I just approached him and I told him, what are you doing? How can I become like you? Because this is so special. And he told me, these are my daily patients. This is what I do. And I live in a town in Italy, in a small town. So this is the people of the town. This guy was Walter Devoto, okay? And he showed us his cases at the time in 2004, and I was just astonished. So I decided to keep his email and to start following whatever I could follow at the time. So he was working with a aesthetic set of resins called Enamel Plus, HFO. So I decided as well not to follow him, but to follow the company. So little by little, I became an opinion leader of the company under his arm, of course, under his protection, and started trying to follow and imitate what he was doing. And it was pretty amazing because I started opening my wingspan a lot. You mean, I have the opportunity to see a guy in Mexico treating high-level patients, to see some American dental school philosophy, and then master's degree, then European, and then this unique individual, which since 2004 until now, to almost 2024, I've been at the side-by-side with Walter. He calls me his right hand, you know, because he's a lefty. So I'm his right hand. So it has been pretty an amazing journey, I must say. I'm very fortunate.
You have really an amazing journey, you know, from the works in Mexico, from the inspiration of the US, and finally you're able to see Walter from Italy, and he got your attention, and ultimately, is it something that you know? Is it also something that you would advise the young dentist to follow something like that?
Yes, yes. So a couple of things, and I just will throw them randomly as they come to mind. The first thing, choose your mentor as good as you would choose your plastic surgeon or you would choose your house. Why? Because they are going to take you to the place you want, okay? And they have more kilometers up front, and you don't, okay? So get good assessment, very, very good, okay? Think 3 times, think 4 times, and then follow, and you will not regret. Okay. Another advice, it's which is the same. Get good advices, meaning because my success hasn't come for free, and as well, it's a matter of several bad luck and bad assessment. Okay, so I came to Spain. I studied 2 years of a master's degree. Okay, and then I had a job offer, so I wanted to stay in that job offer, and then I realized I didn't have the paperwork to work in Spain as a dentist. So can you imagine? So from one day to another, I am a dentist with a master's degree, which I cannot touch patients in Spain. So I had already economical commitments to fulfill there. So I stood there working in a laboratory to fulfill my contract. So I couldn't touch patients, and I have to do all the let's say the paperwork and the board exams. And it took 6 years. 6 years. Okay. And I was super happy. And when I got an offer in Italy, because they told me, yeah, Jordi, now that you have the Spanish paperwork, you can go to Italy, no problem. I have to do all over again. Okay. So that's how layers 1 was completed. If you browse through layers 1, there's not a single clinical picture. Okay, and that was the key of my success, because I could occupy much of the time in meaningful exercise which didn't involve patients, and a young dentist cannot afford to do that. A young dentist has to earn money, earn experience, and so I was only able to earn experience. So for me, the money was coming from other parts with a very hard work. So I took this advantage to do this. So it didn't came for free. So we did a bestseller book for a path which was not my chosen one. So imagine, okay? Yeah. So get good advice. Good advice.
A great mentor, good advisor, and sometimes it does not come for free. But it's a great investment. So you have had great experiences, great opportunity, because you have great mentors. And of course, it also you have your own inner discipline. That's why you're able to do all of this. Now, I'm sure you've told me a while ago that you have had some bad luck. No? So these are the challenges in the practice of dentistry. If you could recall 1 or 2 bad lucks or something that you would want to do it, you don't want to do it. So do you recall something that happened in the practice of dentistry?
No, I mean, because failure has made me who I am now. But if I have to choose again some things, maybe I would take myself from now, go back to 2002 and say, dude, take 3 hours a week to do some sports. Or maybe invest in this kind of education instead of this one, but just to improve skills or something. For all the rest, I don't have any regrets or any bad luck. Everything has made me who I am now, and that's it. That's it.
Supposed to be, I will be asking you, how did you get into style Italiano? But I'm sure our artists have heard that you were able to see an Italian doing a regular daily patient was really magnificent. So then after that, you continuously followed him, and all the while until you become, a Style Italiano right hand or a Style Italiano pioneer member. So can you tell us? Can you walk through us in that particular journey?
Yeah, with luxury of detail. So, as I told you, I became in contact with Dr. Devoto, and we stood in contact for many years, working as opinion leaders for the same company, with the same interests, and let's say with a very nice friendship. One day, I received a call, and it was an Italian number. It was him. And I was so a little bit, let's say, surprised. Why is he calling me? And so he told me, I have a project, I have an idea, I have a dream. And so, long story short, after 45 minutes of long distance call, in 2008, we didn't have Skype or whatever. He told me, "Are you in?" And say, "I didn't understand shit, but I'm in." So at the end, a couple of weeks later, I received some composites, different brands in my workplace. And so he told me, "So let's start doing this thing. I want to simplify the color matching. I want to simplify the construction of the mass stratification. I have this and this idea." So that's where we started brainstorming about a new instrument, about a new technique, about throwing away some useless things that, let's say, were obstacling our way to perfection, implementing some other things that were lacking, everything in the eyesight of simplification. And here I have a metaphor, like an analogy. When you speak to an audience, the first thing I was told to do is don't speak to the first row. The first row, there's people that already know, people that admire you, and people that hate you. No, speak from the second to the back. And so that's the same thing we tried to do when I was analyzing these first composites, to how the everyday dentist will apply this thing. Don't design something to the top of the top. The top of the top already in the top of the top because they know something. And the rest doesn't. So that was our approach. We were playing with composites, building recipes, and trying to follow a dream. After we developed our first technique, our first simplification, Walter Devoto and Angelo Putignano founded the group. But I was already with them. So let's say I'm the unofficial founder. Okay, I'm not a founder. But if someone had to choose the fifth Beatle, I am that one.
But you were part of, Walter.
I was part. I was part since the very beginning. I'm the first member of Style Italiano, and I'm still. I will be the last one. So inventing and helping this dream come true. Always in the outside of simplicity and reaching everyone.
Yeah, it may sound so simple. It may look so simple, but you were actually the inspiration. When we talk about Style Italiano, these are all the inspirations of cosmetic dentists, aesthetic dentists. Because from simplicity, you're able to really deliver a very, very good restoration, and it really comes out like a perfect teeth. You made a lot of significant impact to the dentist who follows you, and I'm just really very happy that some of my association with Style Italiano, and especially with you, you've been so great and helping me out. So I really do appreciate that. And some of the dentists, of course, and most of the dentists are really very fortunate to have Style Italiano as their inspiration, and that is something that will be treasured forever. So now that you've formed the Style Italiano, and you've offered several programs, and what do you think is the most significant impact that you're able to bring to the dentist globally?
I am first, thanks for the question, because this is a very good question. Second, very difficult to answer, but has multiple answers. Roche, I'm so proud of so many things we have invented. If I have to summarize in only one, probably it would be layers 2. Okay. If you read it from the front to the back, you can follow all my path. Everything I know, I didn't leave anything aside. So that's one thing. I think the second thing, it will probably be the OptiShape device, which we, for those of you who don't know, we developed together with Smileline from Switzerland a colorimeter this size, and it has this amount of precision. So this is the one of the good things, and it just was born like 1.5 years ago. So it came out already with 2 ways of using it, like with a compatibility software for ceramics, with some of the bleaching, but it is being useful for nearly everything you can imagine that regards color, opacity, translucency, everything that you can read from a tooth, you can translate it to color. Now you can measure it precisely, and we can nearly imagine almost anything. So in the next months, we're coming out with several advances, with several new applications for this. But I repeat, we have designed 13 different instruments with LM. We have designed nearly 10 or 12 gadgets with Smileline without counting the colorimeter, with Diashine, a polishing system, with Pascal International, some instrument for correct part placement, with Univet, some for optical technology, with Intensive Bourse, with I mean, and the more I count, the more it's endless. And I'm leaving aside here a lot of collaborations we've done. We've done a composite system with White Dental Beauty, with accredited a bleaching system with them as well, which is being distributed by Henry Schein. So we've written 2 books, layers 1 and 2, and countless articles. So yeah, very proud of the work done.
You should be, because a lot of dentists are really following all the footsteps of Style Italiano. That's why when the founder was actually going to Manila, I hope that you also brought the third founder, Dr. Jordi Manauta. But yeah, definitely you'll be in the Philippines very, very soon. Whether it's going to be from KJR Dental or some other company, we will also really promote and support you. Dr. Jordi, I think it's time for us to really give some tips, advice. What are the advice generally for the young dentist and for the experienced dentist that would want to attain a certain level of successes that you have had, and also some of the dentists in Style Italiano? So what are the advices from no other than Dr. Jordi Manauta?
So, practice. Okay, this is something we forgot to do, to practice and practice and practice. And not only before you get your hands in your patient, practice in a model. I have a little workbench still today where I can just take an electric motor polymerization lamp and just be able to do any wild thing I have in mind. Okay, for me, this is one of the keys of success, that before putting something in the mouth of a patient, to practice. And it doesn't matter if it's 10 minutes. It really gives you a lot of insight.
Wow. So very good advice. And again, Dr. Jordi, where can, the followers, where can the fans, where can the dentists see you, follow you, or how they can get connected with the one and only Dr. Jordi?
Yeah, so I have we have the styleitaliano.org. Okay, in that website, if you search through the authors, I am there, one of the in the one of the first rows, and there I have links for my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have links to our articles I've written there, which gather many of the things I love the most and are very useful. So only there you have quite a lot of quality information to read, and some videos that we have done through the years, the links for the books, the links for the instruments, etc. So that would be the departing point. So, and then if you search me through any of the social media, I always answer. I always answer people, and I'm very humbled and honored to help anyone. Okay, if I am with patients or traveling or with my kids, but I always take care of the people that follow me.
Yeah, that's a very good kind of, somebody like you still have that time to answer, and you're always giving back. You never get tired of giving advices and answering all of those inquiry from your followers, and that is something that it's different from. It usually comes from the heart. So if you do have that kind of heart, I think they're going to be more blessed. And with that, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you also for coming over to Dental Podcast Philippines. Of course, a lot of dentists was able to get inspiration from you. And thank you very much.
Thanks to you, Roche. I'm really honored to be part of this podcast, and I'm really honored to be part of the event we're holding on November 8th. Roche, thank you very much. Thanks for Dental Podcast Philippines for hosting me. Keep on practicing, follow me, and thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Jordi. Thank you very much. And that's the end of our presentation, and that's the end, of our Dr. Jordi Manauta from Italy. Bye-bye.
Bye.